Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we just got finished playing a ton of the new expansion today. Just ended the stream. For those of you who don't know, I stream on YouTube. We stream almost every day, so feel free to tune in there. Lots of new people from YouTube joined today for the new expansion. We're going to be going over the top 6, I guess, best decks to play right now. We have a couple new decks and we have some old decks for those of you who do not have the new cards yet. Taking a look at the best win rate deck we played today, and actually the first deck we played on stream today, and this is going to be the Fabled High King Weapon Shaman. This is very similar. It feels like Kingsbane if you like that. Old Shank Rogue, if, you like that. It's the High King. He is a Fabled Rush Battlecry. Bring the High King's Hammer to me. Death Rattle, add it to your hand. If it's in your hand, it goes to him. If it's in your deck, it goes to him. Preferably it's in your deck when you play him, so you don't lose a card out of your hand. And then when he dies, it goes back to your hand. The High King's Hammer is a 6 mana 3/4 Wind Fury Death Rattle. Shuffle this into your deck with +2 attack permanently. So this is an infinite, just scaling Wind Fury weapon. Feels really nice. You get this out, it feels powerful. Avatar form. I really wish this was a warrior card, to be honest, but that's a different complaint. And then we have Avatar Farm, which is the other Fable card. Give a friendly character +2 attack. And then after this attack, deal 2 damage to all enemies this turn, including their face. So if you put it on the hammer, it does 4 damage AoE to everything. And it gives a +2 attack, which on Wind Fury is 4 more damage. So in total, this does 8 extra damage for 3 mana. Very, very powerful. We ended up going with the Terran package in this deck. So you play this like a control deck with just an inevitable win condition of the Wind Fury weapon. It's very similar to like how old Shank Rogue played a bunch of just like stealth cards and just like your opponent can't attack you and single target removal and AoE and vanish, all that good stuff. It's like this. We're going for armor. We're going for like AoE on the board with baking soda, hex for disruption. We're going for field clears with missile pod and lock on. And also lock on works very well with the new card, the Thunderquake, because it deals 1 damage to everything. So a lot of synergies in this deck. Works very well with the Terran package. I believe we went 7-1 with this deck. If you want to pull up the stats real quick here. Yeah, here it is. We went 7-1 and then we lost to a Taunt, Death Rattle, Starship, Death Knight playing our Demon Hunter, playing no new cards. So the only loss today was against a literal taunt deck built to destroy control decks, especially ones that just want to go face with hammer. So that was unfortunate, but yeah, deck did really well, really fun. And you guys will, would you like to say hi to the stream, Junipers? Would you like to remind all of the viewers that if they're watching on YouTube, they should sub, like, and comment because it helps Junipers, dude's girlfriend, and dude get more toys and fun plays? Yeah? Would you like to tell them that? I think you would, because you're a good girl. Definitely see the games when we post this up in the next couple days. The next deck is going to be the Dragon Combo Mage. This deck also performed really well for us. I believe today this particular rendition didn't get a loss on it. So here it is. So with the most recent version, which was this, we went with the Elise package, spread the mana curve out so you're able to Elise a lot of your really good dragons, preferably your fabled ones, which is if you control another dragon, your arcane spells cost 2 less. And then you also need another dragon for this to be active, along with if you control another dragon, your arcane spells cast twice. Keep in mind, if you have 2 of these out, it doesn't cast twice. It works the exact same way Brand does, where it just battle cries trigger twice, spells trigger twice. So just keep that in mind. It's best to keep one of these out and then just make a bunch of the queens so you're able to discount all of your arcane spells. Other new cards in this deck is Aftertime. This card is absolutely cracked, super fantastic. If you're able to do an Azure Queen, we run the Water Cool Artist to discount the frost spells in the deck. So you go buy one for 0 on Azure Queen, and then you play the Aftertime for 0 mana, and then you discover 2 arcane spells from the past, and then they also get discounted by 2 and then get -4 because of the double queen you have out. You can do some absolutely diabolical things with this combo. Keep in mind, this deck has a full range of just being able to play dragons with like Greenwing, and then you have Dragon Draw with like Tormented Dreadwing, which will draw into the taunts that give you time. You run Chadgar because the Whiz Ball is good. Narlax. Yes, you can play Ysera as well. I opted to not run Ysera because we were already really cut on time in the deck and spots, so I'm not really sure like what we'd make room for there. I don't think we need to, we don't need 2 9-drops, especially when you're able to draw the dragons and discount them anyway. But just running a dragon deck without the dragon discount card seemed weird, so we just included them. Of course, you run Freyak because you have to. So 1 Tsunami is pretty good because if you go Water Cool Artist and you already have drawn one of the buy ones, being able to still hit a Frost card in the deck is pretty sick. And then Ceaseless to obviously have your Elise be active. So Really nice deck. One of the most fun I played today. Also extremely difficult to play. So just keep in mind this deck's going to take some time. And then obviously against like something like Quest Warlock, this deck is going to be a little difficult because Quest Warlock is the best deck in the game. And then these new cards obviously need more refining. So just keep in mind, a lot of these new decks that we covered today are obviously going to be weaker than the literal best decks that existed, which we'll get into. We're going to cover 2 of just the best decks previously that are obviously running rampant on ladder right now, because you have half the player base playing new cards and having fun, and then you have half the player base which doesn't play any new cards, and they just want to win and beat up on the players who are trying to play with new cards because they just couldn't stand the thought of losing. So we also have the new Fable Death Knight, which runs our boy Broswami. Fantastic, super fun card. So basically you use this as another travel security in the deck. You've seen our Death Rattle Death Knight in the past with the travel security and the Endbringer Ummer, with the High Cultist and the Wankers. This just adds a little Flava Flav with this guy, which allows you to Broswani, and it's very, very good if you get the taunt and the lifesteal on this guy. So you can do some amazing things with him. We also run one of the Manifests, which is going to resummon the travel security or our Broswami. It really just depends. And then for some other early game cards that we have is the Portal Vanguard, which will hopefully find us some of our combo pieces that allow us to go like Elise, or we go travel security, or the Maladar, or the High Cultist. So very corpse dependent deck. Has a decent amount in the early game, but the value of this deck that can provide you in the late game is pretty severe. So very, very nice, very fun deck again. And again, all these videos will be posted from me in the next couple of days after this. Going into another fun deck that I saw a buddy of mine playing, Pizza. He was playing some of this Demon Hunter deck. A lot of people asked about an all spell Demon Hunter. This is what I'm assuming one of the better lists looks like. Pizza plays good decks and builds good decks, and I don't think you'd play something bad. So this revolves around that new location, the 6 mana, 3 durability, get a demon that costs 5 or more. If your deck has no minions, the next one costs 0, meaning you're discovering 0 mana demons from this every other turn. And then you have a lot of other highly synergistic no minions in deck cards, like this 4 mana card, summon 2 3/3 demons. If your deck has no minions, they attack the lowest health enemy, which is a 4 mana, go 6 face and 2 3/3s, which is pretty cracked. I would be interested to see if there's some way to fit Quest in this deck. I don't know, because it's kind of bad, but I see a lot of things dealing 2 damage, like Insect Claw, Chaos Strike, this weapon. You probably run the little buggies. There it is, the Infestation. So maybe you can weave in a Quest in this deck and allow some of your stuff to do a little bit more damage. But yeah, all spell decked. Before, it was one of my favorites with the relics back in the day. I don't know if this is gonna hit as hard as the relic Demon Hunter did for us. Hopefully it's fun, and I'll probably play this one soon as well. But a buddy of mine, this looked really spicy, and he was cruising today on stream with it, so I figured I would include this in our best decks because it's new and it looked really good. Shout out to Pizza for building this little banger here. All right, so moving to the previous best decks in the game, for those of you who are just returning to this expansion, or you don't have any of the new cards and are scared to craft anything, Quest Warlock is going to be a fantastic bet for you. This deck is absolutely super brain dead, very good. This deck will carry you all the way to legend without a problem. If you have a problem with this deck and you have a higher loss rate than win rate with this deck, I can promise you the deck is not the problem, as it's been the best deck in the game for 4 months. You play the quest, you play some temporary cards, you complete your quest, you hit your opponent in the face with infinite charge minions, lifesteal minions, and create infinite taunts. You have Horizon's Edge. As you're trading minions, you're dealing 3 damage a pop. Just the double Horizon's Edge at 5 durability each at 3 damage a pop is 30 damage just in location for 8 mana. And then from there, core part of the deck is making sure you always have Sketch Artist on turn 4 or 3, so you can play it and then play your Solarium, which is the most important card in the deck, because this basically completes more than half of the quest. So with that, fantastic deck if you're just getting back in and you don't have a lot of dust, or like I said, you don't want to craft new stuff and this is what you got. Obviously, the Quest Warlock is going to be a really good deck for you. And then we have Beast Hunter, another very cheap, very good deck. Play the green cards, hit your opponent in the face, buff them up with the Supreme Dinomancy, which is give +2/+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield. Hand, deck, battlefield, everything, guys. So if they're on the board, you're juicing them. Cards that get on the board, RC Rampage, summon 6/1/1 hounds, any that can't fit on the board, give the other +1/+1. Because you're so token focused and you have such a wide board, most of the time these are going to be 3/3s, 4/4s, 2/2s. They're really good against AoE. Any board sticks, you play Supreme Dinomancy and you just win. From there, you have City Chieftain, which is basically your third Supreme Dinomancy, which is every minion in your deck shares the same minion type. They do, they're beasts. Give your other minions +2/+2 wherever they are. Again, board, hand, deck. Very, very powerful deck. You don't have a lot of spells in this deck. It's mainly minions, and any of the spells that do exist draw minions. So fetch, draw a minion. If it's a beast, draw a spell. You're just doing a lot of damage every turn you're playing stuff. If your opponent is at any point in time not doing exactly what they need to do, you're just going to crush them. So Beast Hunter, if you're on a baller on a budget, brand new to the game, this is a fantastic choice. If you're intermediate, kind of know how to play the game, want super easy legend, obviously the quest Warlock is there. For everybody else who has any semblance of decency and has anything to craft with new stuff, any of the previous 4 decks are probably great for you. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next episode, of course. Hopefully these decks treat you right, and it's been a fantastic first day of a new expansion. With that, I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day is.
How do I know when my spicy off-meta deck is cooking or it's straight garbage? Hearthstone Deck Tracker gives me all the data I need to be able to find, track, create, and play with the worst possible decks I can to Legend each and every month. From matchup spreads to historical data, I can see where my off-meta decks stand in any meta. Features such as mulligan guides, remaining cards, and turn counters provide information which helps you make the best decision each turn. So if you want to be better than me, go on in the description below, hsreplay.net, give it a free download.
Isn't that right, bud? That's a good boy. You downloaded FK3 Play, didn't you?